Right. And let me just switch this over to public. Anyone on Facebook? Yes, let's go back. It looks like it works. Super. Cool. All right. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are doing well. And, I always say it's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's nice outside. Little cool this morning. But it's supposed to be beautiful all day. Lockdown has ended an hour ago. This lockdown has kind of burdened my my morning walks and such. So I've been getting other work done in the morning instead. Adapt and overcome. Pretty simple. It's what we got to do sometimes. So today, there's a lot going on in the world. On Instagram, I just shared something that David Goggins posted. I thought it was very, very important. A very good thing for a lot of people to hear. And I don't talk politics. I don't watch the news, so I'm not the most informed on all sides of a story, and therefore I don't like to openly discuss it because honestly, if I like to base my beliefs on fact, and I believe that from what I've seen, I think change is coming. Change is good. Change can be scary for a lot of people, but most importantly, I believe it will be better. And I think that David Goggins made some very, very good points in what he shared. So check that out. And then that kind of got me thinking. And one of my clients had asked me a list of all of the books that I have read. And, so I tried to kind of break down the books that I have read into categories as far as like what kind of books I believe they are. And again, whether it's I read on Audible or I sit down and actually read it, I consider that being read. And I think that with especially with a lot of what's going on right now, approaching everything with the mindset and the mindset to be very open to all sides, listen, and I'll get into this all kind of ties together in a second, but listening to every side before making a decision. And what I mean by that is, it's with social media, it's very easy to see a post and react. And a lot of times we do that. And a lot of times the post has some partial facts in it, possibly. It might just be something, clickbait. But definitely, be educated, be intelligent and don't just blindly, back something or blindly share something. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who is a state trooper, and I said, it's so disappointing what happened in Minnesota. And it's like throughout the country, these riots, I think protesting is fine, but the riots, that's where, looting and you're affecting somebody's livelihood that has nothing to do with what's truly going on. And I know so many great people on every side of the aisle, whether they're African American, whether they're Asian, whether they're police officers, whether they're federal agents, they're just so many great people. And they're the ones that are all trying to help make this change a better thing. In, you know, one of the books I'm currently reading is Fortitude. In that, a big emphasis is on listen to both sides of an argument or both sides of a discussion before jumping down the other's throat, right? And so many times with social media, we let social media and the media in general drive us to this point where we, you know, we hear something and we're like, I'm outraged. And it's like, but hold on, like take a step back, take a deep breath, and truly, and okay, I'm outraged. Now let me find out to see how much truth there is on this side, that side, or the other. And let me look at it objectively from both sides. Spend some time getting educated. So that kind of led me to when I was talking, you know, it was between listening to this book, everything that's currently going on in America right now and in the world, and then you know, discussions with my client kind of got me thinking like, man, you know, there's a lot of books that kind of help open our mind in a good way, help us grow and help us develop. And I think we all need that. I think that it's more important than ever that we stop being these automated people who are so parasympathetic, so fight or flight, so like just pent up with anger and rage that it's like, go back through and simplify your life. Go back through. And again, reading for 10 minutes a day is one of the best things that you can do, whether even if it's 5 minutes a day. Just going back through and saying, you know what, I'm going to make this small commitment to make myself more educated. And obviously, one of the books I'm going to recommend is Fortitude. But I wanted to put together a list of books, and I hope, morning, Patrick, I hope that some of you will start changing and get away from social media. Obviously, you look at social media from 8 to 8:15 when I do this, and then get off for the rest of the day. Because nothing good comes from social media after 8:15 a.m. We all know that. This is the best thing on social media. So, but instead of trolling Facebook looking for a fight, take 10 minutes and read a goddamn book. So my books that I really like, and this isn't 100% done yet, because I keep remembering other books that I've read. From a motivation perspective, books that if you need motivation, if you're like stuck in your life and you're like, oh, shitty life, blah, 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 books that'll help motivate you. Number one, David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. Number two, I'm going to put on there, and many of you, 99% of you, probably 6 of you have heard of this book, but 99% of you have never heard of this book. And it's called Raised in Hope. And it's the story of Saul Raisin. Saul is an old friend of mine who was a professional cyclist. He dropped Lance Armstrong on a climb in the Alps. And if you can drop Lance Armstrong in Lance's own pretty much backyard, when I think he was 17 at the time. He was like 17 or 18. And Saul's a little bit younger than me. So he's probably now he's like 35, 36, somewhere in there. He was slated to be one of the best American cyclists ever. And he got in a cycling accident during a race, hit his head. And that's all I'm going to tell you, because you need to find the book. You need to read the book. If you can't find the book, if you can't read the book, I mean, you should learn how to read. But if you can't find the book, let me know. Somewhere in my house, I have 2 copies of it. And I can always just shoot Saul a message and see if I can get a couple of copies. But it is an amazing story. And Saul is an amazing person. So number 1, Can't Hurt Me. Number 2, Raising Hope. Number 3 would be Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. And then I've got a few of them in here from Jocko. So I've got Extreme Ownership, Leadership, Strategy and Tactics, and The Dichotomy of Leadership. Those three are all very good books. They'd be hard to read back to back to back, but fabulous books. And then lastly on that list is going to be Fortitude by Dan Crenshaw. That's the one it's a great book. It really starts to open your eyes to this huge, like, for me, the biggest thing that I'm taking away from Fortitude is the fact that I'm spending no more time on social media because it's all bullshit. And there's so much negativity on social media. There's some positive stuff, but there's so much negativity, and there's so many people sharing unfactual bullshit that it's, time to wipe the slate clean. And so that's what I'm getting from Fortitude. From a goal setting perspective, Tribe is a great book. And then there's two of them on here. There's Tribe and then Tribes. Both very similar, but it's about creating, your community. Then Start with Why, Unfuck Yourself, the seven habits of highly effective people, and Relentless. Those would be my top goal setting books, because again, building that community, knowing your why, getting out of your own head, in really like looking at the world objectively. Seven Habits of Highly Effective People is possibly one of the oldest, most well-known books out there. It's a very long book. It's a very flat book. There's not a whole bunch of, excitement in there. And then Relentless. Relentless is a very good book. Just finished that one. And that's the athletic trainer that worked with Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, among other other athletes as well. And, how to be, positioning your mindset and putting yourself in the best position to put your, to move forward and to accelerate your growth. Winning the Day. If you want to win the day, I've got three of them on here. Atomic Habits, Make Your Bed, Eat That Frog. I've got some other books in queue that I've got to listen to, that I've got to get done, that will be going into that category, but haven't read them, can't put them in there. Atomic Habits, obviously James Clear. I've referenced that 1,000 times. Make Your Bed, and then Eat That Frog. So those three books, I think by far, are three books everybody needs to read. All of these books, what is there? There's 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15 books here. Everybody needs to read. And I'm going to finish cleaning up my little sheet of them and really try to put it together and kind of categorize it so that you can really kind of look at it and say, like, okay, you know what? Yeah, these, you can kind of check them off as you've read them. I think that I think it's really important to spend some time reading and spend some time, because you can read any of these books. And one thing that I will say with all of these books, there's 15 different books, there's 15 different authors, or probably like 12 different authors. But with these, what you're going to find is it's going to come down to keeping an open mind. And the more of an open mind you have, the more you are willing to accept criticism, the more you are willing to be coachable. If you are coachable, if you are willing to accept change, then you can grow. You can become a much better person. You can become a better human being. You can become a better neighbor. You can become a better spouse. You can become a better parent. Right now, again, more than ever, that is important. Thought it was a kid, it's a cat. So set aside some time to do some reading. Every day, read a little bit. Even if it takes you 6 months to read one of these books, that's fine. What the main premise is, the main idea is that you open your mind and you accept change. Change can be a good thing. Change is necessary. Change is what helps us evolve. So a little bit different mentality today, but tomorrow, let me verify tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be awesome because Jill Walsh will be joining us. Just wanted to make sure that when we had our conversation, it was tomorrow. Jill Walsh will be tuning in for an 8 a.m. Tomorrow morning. So if you don't know who Jill is a legend of Jamesville. She's an Ironman finisher. She's a mother. She's a Paralympic cyclist. She's a world champion. She's a two-time Paralympic silver medalist. I want to say she's like a 10-time world champion. I mean, it seems like she's always got a new world champion jersey. And she has MS. And Jill has, if you can't gain motivation from any of the people that I've brought on here, I don't know what you're going to need. But Jill is an amazing person. And I think that you'll find, we're going to have some pretty cool discussion tomorrow. And I'm really looking forward to it. So tomorrow, 8 a.m., Jill Walsh, two-time Paralympic cyclist, mother, I believe she won Mother of the Year in her house. So we'll give her that accolade as well. She'll be joining tomorrow. So check it out. Check out these books. I'll try to put them down on like formal paper for you guys so you can check them out. But yeah, I mean, it's, we're living in some trying times right now. So all I can say is, again, keep your head up. When you see someone, smile, say hello, say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's that simple. Being polite, being courteous, respect others and they will respect you. That's how it all should be. If you can do that, if you can do those simple acts, I guarantee you your life will be 1% better. And if your life is 1% better every day, you will be moving in the right direction. So have a great day. Get outside, get something done, have some exercise, have some healthy foods. And join us tomorrow so you can see is Saul's Tour to Life. Yeah. Raising Hope is his charity. Tour to Life. Somewhere in here. The vast array of nonsense behind me. Or it's downstairs in the library. One of the two. But check out all that stuff. I'll see you cats tomorrow.